Be it ghosts, spirits, or just horrifying-looking creatures embedded in the shadows. Fear of the dark may often be considered to be something quite dramatic until it is proven otherwise. Here are some moments when explorers got too close to danger. Walking alone at night is eerie enough, but if you hear the unmistakable crack of a branch snapping nearby, that's the kind of sound that makes your heart race. This guy must have felt the same because when he looked around, something wasn't right. Then he saw it. It wasn't just standing there though. It dropped into this creepy crawl, faster than anything human should move, and started coming for him. Whatever it was, a skinwalker or something worse, he was lucky to get away. The real question is, what would have happened if it caught him? Close call or something more sinister? Let me know your theories. Tent terror. While camping in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by pitch black woods, this group of friends heard strange noises outside. Curiosity got the better of them, and they stepped outside their tent to investigate. Big mistake. Two of them spotted something far off in the shadows and started bolting, leaving their friend fumbling with the camera. He ran too, but curiosity, or maybe fear, made him stop and glance back. That's when he saw it. A humanoid figure crouched near their tent, its unsettling form illuminated in the dim light. People online were quick to label it the Rake, while others dismissed it as a prank. But the fear in the camper's voice, that felt real. So what do you think?
Yo, what is that? Yo, what's...
Jungle lurker? Imagine living deep in the Peruvian jungle, surrounded by silence, except for the unsettling sound of someone weeping at night. That's exactly what this man endured for days. Uneasy, he set up trail cameras, hoping to catch whatever or whoever was making the noise. What the camera captured, though, was the stuff of nightmare. Late one night, there was a pale, humanoid figure, partially hidden behind a tree trunk, its eerie shape illuminated in the dim light. The weeping sound, disturbingly clear, almost human, but not quite. When the footage hit the internet, theories exploded. Many were convinced it was the infamous Rake using its creepy cries to lure the man out. Skeptics called it staged, but I don't know, those sounds feel too real. Highway haunter. On a quiet highway in the middle of night, a pale humanoid figure just sitting there, like it had no business being anywhere else. That's exactly what this guy stumbled upon in 2023. The figure wasn't moving, just sitting eerily still, like it was lost in some sinister thought. What made it worse? The highway was desolate. No people, no cars, just this creepy being lurking in plain sight. Was it a skinwalker keeping tabs on travelers, or was it something even darker, waiting for the perfect moment to strike? Honestly, I can't shake the thought that it was there for a reason. Why would it sit so calmly in such a lonely place? Roadside Mystery. Ever get that creepy feeling while driving down a dark road, like something's out there watching? Well, this clip takes that fear to a whole new level. A strange figure was just sitting by the roadside, barely visible in the shadows. Its face was hidden, and honestly, that just made it worse. At first glance, it seemed humanoid, but the way it moved, it was unnatural, like it doesn't belong here. The camera held steady, almost daring you to figure it out, but no clear answers came. Skinwalker, cryptid, or maybe something even darker. Whatever it was, one thing's for sure. It didn't feel right. That eerie posture, those movements, it's enough to make anyone think twice about night drives. Owlman Encounter. This one's straight out of a nightmare, folks. A forest ranger, just doing his job in November 2003, ended up recording something that feels more like a horror movie. While patrolling, he was attacked by figures that looked human, well, sort of. Their faces resembled owls, and their voices were this bizarre, haunting mix of screeches and who knows what. The video showed these owl-faced creatures chasing him down. You could feel the panic as they closed in, and then, just like that, the video cut off. No one knows what happened to the ranger after that. Some swore those were the legendary Owlmen, with bird-like faces and human bodies. Others? Well, they think it's just some elaborate hoax. Unseen Watcher. This one's enough to keep you checking your windows at night. Resident of the house caught something outside his house, just hanging there as it belonged. The glowing eyes alone were spine-chilling, but then he noticed how it moved. Its head twisted and it scanned the area, almost like it was searching for something or someone. To top it all off, it made a noise that wasn't anything you've ever heard. A mix between a growl and a hiss, and it didn't sound like it was from this world. Some said it could be a skinwalker, others thought alien. Whatever it was not something you'd want to meet. What do you think this thing could be? I'd love to hear your theories. Faceless Pursuer. Deep in a remote forest, explorers captured something that shouldn't have existed. They were filming when they encountered a figure that at first glance seemed human until they noticed something was terribly wrong. The creature's limbs twisted and contorted in ways no human body should, moving with an unnatural jerky motion that sent chills down their spines. It was following them, but the most horrifying detail was its face, or lack of one. Instead of features, it had a smooth blank surface where a face should have been. Silent and relentless, it stalked them through the forest until they barely managed to escape. The footage, still haunting, is a chilling glimpse into something otherworldly. Four-armed terror. This eerie footage begins innocently enough, a group of campers enjoying a quiet night in the woods. But their peaceful evening was shattered by the sound of a woman screaming in the distance. Believing it to be their missing friend, they rushed through the dark forest to find her. Finally, they spotted her, unconscious and tied to a tree. Just as they moved closer, the situation turned nightmarish. Out of the shadows, a humanoid figure with 4 arms charged at them. The group panicked and bolted with their camera capturing only chaos. When slowed down, the footage revealed more detail. The creature was distorted and the unnatural body moving with terrifying speed. Creeping shadows. Okay, this one's straight up chilling. On a deserted road, out of nowhere, this tall, pale humanoid figure came creeping on all fours. Like seriously, on all fours. What's worse, it didn't move like any animal you'd expect. It was way too smooth, almost calculated. The camera caught just enough to leave you on edge. As it crossed the frame, it was gone, like it just melted into the darkness. Skinwalker theories flew around, with some saying this creature fit the bill perfectly. Others leaned toward a Slender Man because of the bizarre proportions. Whatever it was, one thing's for sure, it's nightmare fuel. Could it be something supernatural or just a really creepy hoax? Forest haunting. So this is one of those creepy stories that'll make you second guess any late night strolls. A young guy, all geared up with his camera and flashlight, decided to explore a forest near his city park. It was supposed to be just a normal night exploration until things went south. As he ventured deeper, he started hearing strange noises. But then just as he was heading back toward the park, he saw something terrifying. A bizarre, demonic-looking creature charging at him. The last of the footage was a mess of chaos, and days later, authorities found his camera. Some said demons got him, dragging him to hell. Seriously, who knows what went down in that forest? Cemetery creeper. A man was in a cemetery, probably paying respects or just exploring when he got that gut feeling something was off. So he started filming, and thank goodness he did, because what he caught behind a tree was pure nightmare fuel. This thing had unnaturally long hands and a humanoid shape, but moved in this weird, jerky way like it wasn't used to its own body. And you can't blame the person for running. I mean, who wouldn't? Now the internet's divided. Skinwalker, hoax, or something completely new? People can't stop arguing, and honestly, I'm stumped too. The footage just felt off. What do you think? Real or just another creepy prank? Let's hear it in the comments. Drone's discovery.
Bro, he's eating something.
This chilling footage, captured by a drone, offers a glimpse into the unknown. While surveying an isolated area, the drone's camera zoomed in on a small, weathered wooden house. Sitting by the door was a figure humanoid, but disturbingly off. Its alien-like eyes glowed unnervingly, almost as if it could see right through the lens. The creature moved awkwardly, struggling with something unseen, its jerky motions both unnatural and deeply unsettling. The drone owner, shaken by what he saw, confessed he had no explanation for the bizarre being. Online theories exploded, with some claiming it was a rare, unidentified creature. Others whispered darker possibilities, a skinwalker in its true monstrous form.
Bro, he's eating something!
Shadow Stalker. In 2023, a trail camera captured something that had everyone scratching their heads. The footage showed a strange, pale humanoid creature crawling low to the ground, its body twisted in an unnatural way. The creature moved silently through the dark woods, pausing in the middle of the path as if aware it was being watched. It scanned the area, then vanished into the shadows, leaving nothing but eerie silence behind. Was this some kind of mythic creature, like the ones found in native legends, or just a trick of the light and shadows? Those who witnessed the clip were left chilled, speculating it could be a skinwalker on the prowl. Restricted Encounter. Here's a story that'll have you thinking twice before crossing a no trespassing sign. A hiker in California decided to wander off the beaten path, heading straight into a restricted zone. You know, the kind of place with fences and warnings that scream "don't go here." But curiosity got the best of him. As he neared the fence, he heard it, a frantic pounding noise, like someone sprinting. He whipped out his camera, turned toward the sound, and there it was, a pale, humanoid figure barreling toward him. The footage cut off after that. What happened next? Nobody knows. Maybe it was a warning. Maybe it was a creature protecting its territory. Either way, one thing's clear, those fences, yeah, they're not just for show. Redyed Entity. This chilling clip from 2023 captured what nightmares are made of. An explorer decided to brave an abandoned site, camera in hand, ready to document its eerie silence. But as he ventured deeper into the decaying shadows, something caught his attention, a strange red glow piercing through the darkness. Zooming in, his lens revealed a humanoid figure with glowing, pulsating red eyes that seemed alive with an unnatural intensity. Its thin, twisted body moved weirdly, almost like it was trying to copy how humans move, but missing the mark. The creepy video had people buzzing about where it came from. Was it a skinwalker or some old shapeshifter trying to lure its victims? Haunted Encounter. Alright, let's unpack this spine chiller. An explorer decided to brave a so-called bad house. While recording his adventure, things took a sharp turn into nightmare territory. The guy claimed he saw a creature, dark, creepy, and downright terrifying that left him shaking. And here's the kicker, his health visibly deteriorated during the video. Like, you can literally see him struggling as he pushes through. Some said this wasn't just creatures, but the devil. And if that's true, no wonder he bolted out of there. He barely escaped, posted the footage, and boom, instant viral fear. But then, there are the skeptics. Could it be a hoax? Maybe, but the guy's reaction felt way too raw to be staged. Ship Specters. In northeastern Sudan, right by the Red Sea, a surveillance camera captured something that has everyone's skin crawling. It all started when authorities docked a large ship for a routine inspection. But when they checked the footage, it was straight out of a nightmare. Figures, not quite human, darted across the ship. Two of them zipped over the deck like shadows, while another, pale and gangly with unnervingly long limbs, loomed like something out of a horror movie. Locals swear these were jinns caught on camera, while internet sleuths are calling them skinwalkers. Honestly, watching it, I couldn't tell if they were lurking or planning an ambush. Whatever it was, it's creepy enough to keep me off boats for a while. Peruvian Phantom.
¿Qué cosa es esa cosa, Dios mío? Es una persona. No.
Okay, so this video from Peru is seriously creepy. A woman was casually filming down her street when she caught something so bizarre it'll give you chills. At first, it's hard to tell what you're looking at. It seemed like a shadow or a blur in the distance. But as the footage went on, the figure took shape. It looked humanoid but off. Its movements were strange, almost unnatural, and the way it just stood there was unsettling. Was it just a person? Maybe. But that somehow made it even weirder. Who just loiters in the middle of a quiet street looking like that? Theories are everywhere. Some say it was paranormal and others insist on a hoax. Either way, it's enough to make you double check your locks at night.
¿Qué cosa es esa cosa, Dios mío? Es una persona. No.
The glowing eyes. In an abandoned mine, an explorer set foot, eager to uncover what secrets lied hidden in the darkness. With his camera in hand, he ventured carefully through the tight, damp tunnels. And as he peered into one narrow passage, something caught his eye. Glowing, unnatural eyes, bright as fire, staring back at him from the shadows. For a brief, terrifying moment, he saw a figure, humanoid in shape, but something was deeply wrong. It had an eerie presence, and then in the blink of an eye, it vanished. The explorer quickly snapped a shot, but by the time he looked back, it was gone. Rural Nightmare. This one's the stuff of legends or nightmares, depending on how you look at it. Late one night in rural India, while working late on a farm, farmers were met with the scare of their lives. They were surrounded by dozens of eerie creatures, those infamous rakes, closing in. Long limbs, pale faces, and a vibe that screams, "Run for your life." The workers did their best, grabbing torches, sticks, and anything they could find. But these things didn't flinch. They crept closer, fearless, like they knew they were in control. The scariest part, the camera footage cuts off, leaving the rest a mystery. People argue if it was a hoax, but honestly, the panic in their voices felt bone-chillingly real. Nightstalker. In 2022, a lone driver's peaceful night was shattered by an unsettling sound from the nearby bushes. Thinking it might be a stray animal, he decided to stop and investigate. But what emerged wasn't something he could easily explain. A pale, crouched figure, its limbs bent unnaturally, scurried across the road in jerky, disturbing movements. It was humanoid, but nothing about it seemed human. Frozen in fear, the driver couldn't tear his eyes away as it disappeared into the shadows. Local rumors of skinwalkers suddenly felt all too real at that moment. Was it a myth come to life, or something far darker, lurking in the forgotten corners of the night? The shadowed figure. On June 10th, 2024, an explorer made a discovery that blurred the line between myth and reality. Deep inside an abandoned house, he encountered something that chilled him to his core. As he moved through the decaying, lifeless rooms, his flashlight caught a glimpse of something unnatural. A naked, humanoid figure crouched in the shadows. Its skin blended right into the shadows, almost vanishing in the creepy surroundings. At first, it was tough to spot, but then he finally saw its face. Huge, dark eyes staring at him, with a head that looked like a messed up version of a person's. The house itself felt less like a structure and more like a portal, leading to something far darker, something beyond this world. Dam Dread. A fisherman named OFA was at Katoran Dam in Turkey fishing, with camera ready, adrenaline pumping, but just past midnight, things took a turn straight out of a horror movie. He saw something in the water, but it wasn't just a big fish. No, it was humanoid. And instead of heading for the hills like any sane person, he jumped in and tried to catch it, but soon realized that backing off would be a better idea. But here it got even wilder. Those creatures started pulling him into the water. He struggled and tried to scare them with the fire. And it worked. They backed off. Some said those were the mermaids, preying on him, but who knows? Deserted Encounter. Two buddies were cruising down an empty road late at night in the eerie silence of the Turkish countryside. Out of nowhere, something massive appeared right in front of their car. At first, they thought, okay, maybe it's just an animal. But then, as their headlights hit it, they realized this thing was no animal. It was towering, unnatural, and downright terrifying. They did what anyone would, grabbed a camera, but that's when it started moving toward them, slow and deliberate, like it knew it had all the power. That's when panic took over, and they bolted, leaving the creature and their courage behind. People online were skeptical about this, but the fear in their voices, that's the kind of stuff that sticks with you. Forest Encounter. Here's a reason to think twice before venturing into the abandoned woods. This explorer, yeah, he found out why the hard way. Out there, maybe chasing thrills or just nature vibes, he stumbled on something straight out of nightmares. A massive humanoid creature just lying there like it owned the place. Except then it spotted him. Those eyes locked on like they had just found dinner. That's when the guy made the smartest move of his life, running. But the footage cut off. No ending, no resolution. Did he make it? Or did that thing? Well, let's just say it doesn't feel like a happy ending. Haunting stare.
He stuck out like a sore thumb.
The wilderness has a way of making you feel like you're not alone, and this wildlife researcher found out just how true that can be. He was out in the dense forest, doing his thing, recording wildlife when something caught his eye, or rather, two eyes caught his. Zooming in, he spotted a pale, ghostly face with dark, piercing eyes staring at him from a distance. At first, people thought maybe it was an owl, but nah. Experts quickly shut that down. The eyes were way too human-like. Some folks were throwing around wild guesses. Maybe a Sasquatch. Whatever it was, one thing's for sure, it saw him before he saw it. Being watched like that, give chills, doesn't it?
He stuck out like a sore thumb.
Woodland Watcher. On a carefree afternoon, a kid was playing by the woods, having the time of her life. Then out of nowhere, she came running towards her dad, with face pale as a sheet, pointing at the trees like something was watching her. Dad's gut tightened, and he grabbed his camera, aimed it towards the tree line, and zoomed in. And there it was, a pale, humanoid figure lurking in the shadows. Its long arms dangled unnaturally, way longer than its legs. Some said it was a skinwalker, sizing up its next victim. Others claimed it was just a trick of the light. Whatever it was, it makes you wonder, are the woods really empty, or are we just not looking closely enough? Cave Dragon. A guy was out in the mountains just exploring when he stumbled across a dark, ominous cave. Most of us would turn back, right? Not this guy. He peeked inside and bam, two glowing eyes locked onto him. Imagine the sheer terror of realizing you're not alone. The creature's shape was barely visible. Looked like something out of myth. A dragon. Not a friendly fairy tale dragon though. This felt ancient, wild, and definitely not the type to toast marshmallows with. Was it real? A hoax? Some locals swore there were things in those remote areas that science hadn't caught up with yet. I mean, glowing eyes in a cave? That's straight up nightmare fuel. Whatever it was, one thing's clear. Nature's secrets aren't always meant to be found. Monkey's Curse.
I thought this looks too good and this looks too weird.
A camera crew was prepping their equipment for a video shoot in the Alberta forest setting when they caught sight of something in the distance. At first, it was just a shadow moving between the trees, but then it stepped into the light, this furry, hulking figure that looked like it just walked out of a Temple Run level. Yeah, you know the one. Naturally, the crew freaked out, trying to figure out what they were seeing. Sasquatch? Maybe, but this thing had a different vibe, more sinister, less shy. The internet blew up with theories, Temple Run fans leading the charge. Was it just a trick of the eye or something we're not meant to understand?
I thought this looks too good and this looks too weird.
Phantom Encounter. This one gave me chills. Three guys were cruising down the eerie Chick-McClure Hill Road late at night. It was pitch black and the road was winding. Then they spotted it, a pale, motionless figure standing on the roadside, just watching. As they inched past, it didn't budge, not an inch. At first you'd think, oh, it's gotta be a mannequin, right? But nope. They kept driving, and there it was again, further down the road. That's when panic set in. This time, the figure calmly stepped over the guardrail and vanished into the darkness below. No sound, no trace. They reported to the authorities, and they didn't find any sign or something. Delta Force Encounter. This one gives you chills right down to the bone. After numerous reports of eerie incidents in a remote area, the US Army sent in a Delta Force team to investigate. What they found, or rather, what found them, was beyond imagination. As the team set up camp, chaos broke out. One soldier was ambushed by a shadowy figure, and the panic was caught on camera. Another soldier, camera in hand, bolted toward the tent for safety, but came face to face with the creature. The beast charged at him, its appearance terrifyingly unnatural. Luckily, the team acted fast, saving their comrade just as the creature fled into the darkness. To this day, no one knows what it was. Many believe it was a Wendigo. Midnight Stalker. Captured by a home security camera, this footage is the stuff of nightmares. In the middle of the night, an eerie figure crept around the house, its glowing eyes piercing the darkness. Its pale, otherworldly body moved in unnatural, jerky motions that sent shivers down the spine. Adding to the horror, strange guttural noises echoed through the still air, as if the creature was trying to communicate or warn. The unsettling footage left the family terrified and sparked debate online. Many believed it to be a skinwalker, the infamous shapeshifter from folklore, while skeptics claimed it was an elaborate prank. But one thing's for sure, whatever prowled that night left a haunting impression no one can forget. Grinning Menace. Dogs are loyal and mysterious, but not every wagging tail is a friendly one. One man found himself frozen in fear when he saw a dog grinning. Yes, grinning at him from his neighbor's yard. At first it seemed odd, but the unsettling twist, his neighbor didn't even own a dog. So where did it come from? The town buzzed with whispers of something far worse. A skinwalker cloaked in canine form, using that eerie grin to bait its next victim. Was it just a strange animal or something far darker that walked among them? In folklore and fear alike, when a dog smiles, it's often a warning. Stay far, far away. Open discussion. Now it's time for today's open discussion. This clip has taken the internet by storm, and honestly, it's nightmare fuel. A frightened girl could be seen hiding in what looks like an abandoned house. The real horror, a creepy, pale humanoid creature lurking nearby, moving slowly and deliberately in a way that sends chills down your spine. It looked like it was searching for her, and you could practically feel the bad vibes radiating off it. Luckily, the girl kept quiet and blended into the shadows. Nobody knows where this footage came from. Some think it's just a prank, while others believe it's from a film. But those who are into this kind of stuff claimed it was solid proof that the rake is out there hunting in the dark. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.